What's up, everybody? On today's video we're going to do a quick treatment of my in waistband holster that I wear whenever I'm out on my kayak. And as many of you witnessed, I have finally fallen off my kayak and I had this in my waistband. And it's gotten wet quite a few times before when I ride underneath fountains or just sweating, normal body sweat in Florida heat. Don't mind the birds, I do apologize. But as you may or may not be able to see, it's getting a little dry, kind of like a pair of old work boots. And so I thought to myself, hey fella, you got leather World War II boots that you've been wearing for years. You have to treat them, keep them from falling apart and getting stiff. And if this thing is going to be in one's waistband, you're really going to want it to be as pliable as possible, within reason obviously. But you don't want some curled up hard leather shoe tucked in your waistband digging in your skin. And so I thought, why not get out my boot treating kit, dig down deep, and get out some old-fashioned mink oil. Never done this before. We're going to try it today, which is we're going to put mink oil on our holster to see if it makes it more pliable, more comfortable, if you will, when having it in the waistband. Looks like my little spinny floppy things that knocked the lid off the mink oil open has popped off. And I probably shouldn't keep this in my garage because it's hot as hell out there, and well, you can't see it. My mink oil is in good shape. Don't mind the whole studio here. I know it's a hot mess, but I just needed a clean place to do this without having to worry about all the other animals. I'm actually going to start on the back because I have more access to the area, and furthermore, that's the side that's up against your body. So that's the side that gets the body heat. So we're going to assume that it's going to dry out quicker than the front side. And not only that, but since this is the side that's pressed up against your skin, conventional wisdom would make you want to think that that's the side that you want to be the softest. Now, I will say you don't want to do this right before you use your holster, because you're going to have all the slimy stuff up against your skin. We want to give this thing some time to dry out. And I primarily carry this on my kayak. I have been carrying it more out in public, but I usually use my sticky holster, which does not have any clips and is a lot more comfortable. But since I started using this guy, I have been getting more comfortable with it. Now, as I just said, my other holster is made by Sticky, who's a Southwest Florida company. They're actually made down in Naples, and interestingly enough, this particular brand holster that I have here is also a Southwest Florida brand holster. I got this one off of Facebook Marketplace, believe it or not, and if I remember correctly, this is a Bucks holster, I believe. Yeah, bucksholsters.com, and I think they may also be produced down in Naples. So I just so happen to be supporting two local holster companies. I know you're saying, Don, well, you bought it secondhand off of Facebook Marketplace, so it's not like they made the money the second time. That's correct, but the fact that I use it, the fact that I enjoy it, I think it's comfortable, it means I'm going to more than likely suggest it to other people who's looking for a inner waistband leather-backed Kydex holster. Now you can see how shiny it is. Getting a lot of this mink oil on there. We're going to rub it in really, really well. This will also help keep it from cracking and sparring over time. I don't know how many years people keep their holsters, but I actually had my original sticky holster until it literally started falling apart. I used it daily, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And so, but since this guy went into the canal, I'll try to get inside the holster itself, because obviously that's where your firearm goes, so why not make sure that leather's as smooth as possible. So now we have the mink oil pretty well wrapped in to the holster. The dogs are barking, and we're gonna rub this in. Now we're gonna let this thing dry out so that when I put this thing on the next time, I'm not getting slime all over my sides. It probably behooves me to keep this mink oil inside so not to have it melt. Back in my Three Musketeers tin that I use for shining my World War II boots. So we're gonna let this guy dry out, and hopefully we'll notice a little bit difference next time we go to use it on whether or not it's not so stiff. It's more like a nice worn-in pair of boots or gloves, and not a stiff piece of leather that swam. I need to get a screwdriver once I'm done and tighten these screws down. Now this particular holster does have level holes, so you can adjust the height of the clip. So when you adjust the height of the clip, it actually lowers the depth of the firearm in your waistband. So depending on your pants or whatever, the higher you put these clips, the lower the gun sinks down. Now I have it at the very bottom because I want the handle of my firearm sticking at least out of my trousers so that I can get a good firm grip on it. I don't want to lower it to the fact that I'm trying to get my hand down inside my pants in order to draw my firearm. But let's let this guy dry, and we'll get back. Like I've never done this before. I could be messing myself up. This thing may not dry like I'm hoping it does, and I might find that I get mink oil all over the inside of my waistband the next time I use it. So we're gonna leave it sit here and dry, and make sure it's under lock and key, and we'll check back with it later. By the way, thanks for hanging out. Quick video. Please like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and we'll talk to you a couple hours when this thing hopefully dries out. So at 6:30 this morning, I put my holster back on, and it's dry, completely dry. I have it on me now, not that you can see, but it's completely dry, and the mink oil worked great. Not only did it work great, it's actually so pliable now that the holster is more form-fitting to my body now. And I'll show you some more later. I'm just now getting home from work. Got a podcast tonight, but I have been wearing it for 13 hours now, and it definitely is a lot more comfortable. The leather does not irritate the skin as bad, and so mink oil seems to be the way to go.